They roll me off, I ain't write them back. Nah. Follow me, but don't double tap. I ain't liking that. You subscribe, I monetize. Now who's striking that? Wanna see the contract? Who got the rights to that? This my story. I spent my whole life on life. Time's up. Shador Sanders with the rollie in the armor. I could do this shit with my eyes closed. The main attraction don't come at me with no side show. I'm selling high, they wanna buy low.
Here we go. I'm running my mouth again. I ain't got my damn mic muted. My bad, my bad. We here, people. We here. I didn't want to unveil the curtain too quick because I got my boy back here. And, you know, I just want to let him know we're going to fill him up with life today. We're going to show him a lot of love. And we got my boy in here. We got the Brody, baby. We got the Brody. Me and my boy rocking here in the kitchen and with the cook up, man. We joined by the one, the only, the legend. DBro's in the building, man. D, how you feeling, Brody?
I'm doing good, baby. I'm just trying to get the caffeine working, trying to wake up right in the morning, man. And honestly, we talked about this before we kicked them mics live, dude. Anytime I get to chop it up with y'all is a good day, brother. So thank y'all for having me, man. It's just a blessing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And look, I done messed up the intro. I was supposed to. I was looking like, hold up, why am I talking? I don't hear nothing. I got my thing. I'm all over the place.
You're vibing too much, Fizz. Come on,
man. You know, you make me nervous sometimes, bro. You know what I'm saying? So we good to go, man. Rock, how you feeling, Playboy?
Oh man, it's been a great week. Gotten to kick off the research for the rookies Senior Bowl. The wife cooked some carnitas last night. It doesn't get any better than that.
I thought she was the king of the carnitas, bro. Hold on now. Who got the better ones? Who's better?
The one that the wife made last night was pretty damn good. It was really, really good. Yeah.
Here we go.
DBro, how was that barbecue down in Mobile?
Man, it's good, dude. I mean, the barbecue in Mobile is good. I mean, you know, I'm from DFW, so like it doesn't really compare, you know, but
yeah.
We got some good cuisine. Ate good when we were down there. I can't lie. So, you know, not all bad.
Well, the one thing I took about your trip down there, DBro, was the sun burn, brother. The sun burning.
You see, I ain't got no lines. I'm hiding, baby.
Oh, listen, that's the one take I said. I know one thing for sure. My boy talked about the sunburn. That was like the hot topic for you, man.
For real.
Down there, more than the food. What you about to say, Rock, before I got interrupted? You broke my boy.
I was gonna ask, what's your go-to barbecue? You ribs guy? You a pork butt guy? Brisket?
For me, it's got to be ribs, and there's about 1 million ways to do them. Now, if you go to a joint, they're gonna do it their way, you know. But some places will slow cook them and then finish them up on the grill to crisp them up and stuff. So I mean, every place has got its own. Then we can go down a whole different conversation about different types of barbecue sauce and what that's like. I kind of lean towards not the sweet but the vinegary kind. So you know, everybody's got their own tastes, but that's where I'm at. It's ribs, and it's a little bit of bitter at the end of that barbecue sauce, man. That's what seals it.
Yeah, I'm a dry rub type of guy. Have the sauce on the side.
I don't hate it.
I
don't hate it.
Yeah, well, you know, Rock gonna be in that kitchen, baby. You gonna make
put
sure
the sauce
you
on the side. You dipping? Is that how it rolls?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. My man. Same vibe.
There we go. Well, I guess before we get too far into the show, Brody, I definitely the cook up, man. This is my baby right here. It's something that I had created. The guys told me do your thing. I kind of enjoy it because I have the only morning slot we have, so I feel like this is really important to me and to the people, because when you ain't got nothing to do at work or you at home vacuuming, whatever you're doing, you might want to tune into somebody. And if I'm one of the faces that you don't mind watching, I ain't mad at you. So since it's your first time on the cook up, just want to, you know, introduce you to the people, man. Let us know where you from, your background. Give us a little bit of what you do on the daily, and maybe some of your favorite things you got going on, bro, right now.
Oh, man. I mean, dude, I've been with FantasyPros for about, oh, shit. You know, you've been with a company for a little bit whenever you get to start thinking back and you're like, I might get this wrong for the date, but like 5-6 years. So, you know, all the fantasy content now, I mean, this is my favorite time and what has become my favorite time of the year. I mean, over the last few years, the deeper I've gotten into the NFL draft stuff and prospects and dynasty and stuff like that, this really has become my favorite time of year. And last year, launching the NFL draft show with FantasyPros was kind of like, you're talking about the cook-up's your baby. The NFL draft show is my baby, man. Like that is definitely, that's my heart. Like, so like trying to push that forward, trying to do all the things that I possibly can to make that show successful. And a lot of that comes, man, like from getting in the lab and watching all these players and doing things, at least like trying to do things what I think is the right way. And, you know, watching enough game film, looking at all the analytics and stuff and really seeing where, because I'm playing catch up, man. Like I just being transparent, like I don't have the bandwidth during the year to watch college, you know, like it's enough to just 60 hours a week, 70, whatever, just to keep up with the NFL during the year. So like I come into this with fresh eyes, and people might have narratives or things about players they don't like, or things that they've, you know, whether, because some of these players, people have been, whether they're into Devi or whether in the dynasty and stuff like that, they've been following these guys for 3, 4, 5, whatever, however long. And so some of that sentiment builds up, whereas like I'm coming into this with fresh eyes. So I don't care about any of that noise. What I care about is how they stack up on film, let the film talk, and looking at numbers and stuff. And where I come down a lot of times in past years, it's been a little bit different than consensus. And sometimes that's good. And sometimes we differ. And, you know, just taking all this stuff. And the more years that I do the prospect stuff, you realize you got to stick to your process, but there's also stuff you got to learn every single year. So it's all learning, baby. Like misses are just another opportunity to learn something more.
For sure. And to be honest, bro, we do more wrong than right in this game. A lot of people like to brag on their hits, but you go back. I say this, we celebrate our hits. The people that watch us celebrate our misses, because they love to throw those in your face. You said this. You know how that go. You know what I'm saying? So
and then they don't ever remember all that shit they gave you last prospect season and stuff. Like all that group thing, man. That shit gets turned up to 11, and if you go against that, I mean, you know, the way I look at it is like, I don't care about that echo chamber. I don't care about that group think. Like, if we agree, if we don't agree, that's fine too. Like, but you got to back it up with doing the work. And that's what it all comes back to.
Yeah, no doubt. And to be honest, bro, I don't have a draft guide. I kind of just have a team around me of guys I trust. And you are kind of a part of my process, bro. So I always put you as far as one of my star ratings of what DBro think. If he ain't feeling it, then I might gotta change my mind on it. You know what I'm saying? So you getting into the dynasty space more though, I do enjoy, because I know you were, I ain't gonna say you were really a redraft guy more in a sense, but I know a lot of fantasy pros, that was like the big thing is the redraft. But I see it's kind of evolving into the dynasty. And you seem like to be kind of like, I ain't gonna say the head of it, but you there as far as like the dynasty side. I know that I've seen you do more and more dynasty stuff in the Senior Bowl, going down there, you know, chopping up with the players. And I know Rock wanted to holler at you about some stuff. But before we get too far in, man, I like to holler at my people, man. I was waiting for some of y'all to tap in, bro. So I see we got my boy. Hey, this is my boy right here, man. Say good morning, fellas. What's going on, bro? How you feeling, man? I just chopped it up with this guy the other day, man. We randomly was in a mock draft together. I inboxed him, told him it was his pick, and next thing you know, we talking like every day now. So this just show you how far the game go.
Love it.
Shout out to you, bro. We appreciate you tapping in. I got my boy Jake in the building. What up, Jake, man? Appreciate you always tapping in, man. Mr. Voorhees, say DBro in the building. That's sir. You know how we get down. Baby. And my boy Shizzles know I love me some Jameis Winston. So shout out to you for saying that, because you always gonna get some love for my boy, Mr. Crab Legs, for sure. And in case you didn't know, DBro, we got Rob Gronkowski, man. He leave Fox Sports. He always tap in with us, and you know what I'm saying? He
Ice shakers in the full bed, baby. We're supporting the whole family, okay?
That's it, boy. What's up, Red? Yeah, I guess, you know, before we jump to the Senior Bowl, Rock, you got anything you want to throw at the Brody, man, before we get it cracking, man?
I'm right there with you, DBro. I can't enjoy the college season as much as I would like to. I got my hair cut yesterday. My freaking barber was educating me on college football. He's the exact opposite of me. See, I usually watch the college football championship, especially when my Buckeyes are in it. And I usually don't watch that much college football. It's like I like jam-pack a year's worth, a season's worth over the next 2 months is basically what it comes down to. So I'm right there with you. It's tough, man. It's tough to be able to jam it all in, but Yeah, I've been waiting a year to be able to have this conversation with you, bro. Yeah. So you have some of the best dynasty ranks out there. So last year I did a ranking series last year.
Go ahead, hype him up, baby. Go ahead, let him cook.
A lot of research.
I should play my music, man. We gotta let him cook. Let Rock cook, man. Hold up, man. Hold on. Keep cooking, Rock.
Okay, let's get it going.
Cook. We're gonna let you cook. Well, we usually do a segment, D-Bro, where we go through all the games, and since there's no games to talk about, you are the game. So go ahead and let him cook.
Oh God, here we go.
Okay. So one of the things I looked at last year was ADP, retention, and turnover for consensus versus ECR ranks. Because every time we do startups, there's like huge differences every year from year to year. Mm-hmm. So I found last year, consensus ADP in 2023, only 21% of the players in the first 12 rounds of startups retained their standings, retained their value heading into the 2024 season. DBro, do you want to take a guess on how accurate your dynasty ranks were in 2023?
Cook.
I don't know, man. I'm shooting in the dark here, baby. I'll let you go ahead and fill in the gaps.
Cook it out, baby.
40.67%.
Oh, all right.
You were twice as accurate as consensus ADP.
Oh.
Your top two positions were QB.
This is no shit on me. I didn't even know this, baby.
There we go.
Yeah.
Cooking. Go ahead. Cook it up, Rock.
It was crazy. So your quarterback rankings, 47% hit rate. Your tight end rankings, 44% hit rate. But here's the coolest thing. Your best rounds were your most important rounds, the first through the third round. You hit on 75% of the players in the first round, 58% in the second, 50% in the third. So I need to ask you, did you have some sort of vision in the offseason? Did you make a deal with the devil at some crossroads? And if so, what does he look like, man? So I wanted to ask you, what are your keys to good ranks, man? Because I looked at 8 of the top people in the space, and no one came even close to you.
Oh, dude. I think it comes down to me just standing on process, like how you're looking at players and stuff, whether it's, do they flash in their first season? Is there a glimmer of hope? What does the analytics look like and stuff? And some of this has happened faith of like, if a guy flashes, like them believing in them in their second season, or, and we see this how many different times, guys, like you get a guy that face plants as a rookie or in his second year, and people keep that hope candle lit. And it's like, I mean, some of these guys, they tell you who they are pretty fast, man. Like if they don't do anything in the rookie season, the second year and stuff like that, chances are if they do break out at some point, it's not going to be a sustained thing. So some of it comes down to process, context. We all have our players that we want to stand or we believe in. But really it all kind of comes back to that, dude. And I look at when I'm tearing out guys for dynasty and stuff, like I don't really look at consensus that much. Like I build it out based off of not only team situation, but also like we're all playing in that like 2-year window in dynasty. So like, is he going to be a free agent the next year? Could that change his stock? Is he sewn in for the next few seasons with a certain quarterback or situation? And, is he about to hit the age cliff? And do you want to get ahead of that? So it's a lot of different things. I will say with my ranks, like, I don't want to say like I rank aggressively, but it's not hard to look at my ranks and then you look at it versus consensus and see who the players are that I'm going out there and trading for, or I believe in, or I'm making a stand on, or what have you. You know what I mean? And it all kind of comes back to doing your own work versus sitting more with consensus and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to say just be different to be different, but like if you come down different on something, be okay with standing on process. You know what I mean? So stand on with the work that you're doing and have that fuel where you're at on certain players, and not just like leaning into what everybody else is saying about a player or a situation and stuff like that. Because again, like, I mean, Fizz, y'all both talked about this. T-Rock, like, there's a lot of shit we get wrong, man. There's a lot of stuff we get wrong. And so like, everybody wants to throw stuff in your face about things you get right, things you get wrong and stuff like that. And I'm not claiming to be 100%. None of us are. If anybody's out there propping it up like they don't miss, shit, they're lying to you. You need to run away from that real fast.
For sure.
You know, so now I will say this out on social medias. You hear enough times out on social media about people wanting to throw all your L's in your face, and I'll own them. But at the same time, I'm fine with sitting here owning the W's too. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So like, it's not just like being cocky. It's like, dude, you exist in this space long enough. You're going to get your losses tossed in your face plenty enough times. But a lot of times people want to go back and they don't want to talk about all the things in the same breath. Like, yeah, I got all this wrong, but I got this right too, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's awesome, DBro, that you mainly rely on your own thing. You probably just start from scratch. You isolate yourself from all the noise that's on the outside. So based off what you did in 2023, I couldn't help but go look at what you have planned for 2025. Tell me about Jared Goff. You have him ranked, if this is correct, if my eyes are not deceiving me, 7th in Superflex ranks, behind Mahomes, in front of Chase, a full 3 rounds in front of ECR. What the hell do you know about Jared Goff that we don't?
I mean, when it comes down to Goff, dude, I've got him at QB7. It comes down to just situation, and it comes down to like, I mean, here's the thing. What I love Patrick Mahomes, the player, but what has he been doing in fantasy? Like, what's that? There is a big discrepancy in the name and the actual value as far as what fantasy comes down with, man. So it's like Goff is sewn into a situation, and I'm sorry if everybody thinks the Detroit Lions are falling off a cliff after this season. I don't know what the hell you're doing. Like, the entire team's still locked and loaded, ready to go. Ben Johnson was awesome, but this is also Dan Campbell, who is an offensive-minded head coach. I think they go running back, and like, he's tied into that situation for the next few seasons. Like, the other part about this is Jared Goff has been paying off with that. Last 2 years, QB7, QB11 in fantasy points per game. Like, I'm fine with taking the certainty of Goff in a situation we know is extremely fruitful. And you look at where he's at, like in that range of, okay, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, have they been producing at that type of level consistently in the last 2 years? No.
Nah.
Value in what they could be. Brock Purdy's in that same conversation, but like,
yeah,
I mean, that's just what it comes down with quarterback, man. Like, you know, so people, if they head to my ranks, I don't even know where Goff is in consensus, dude. He probably
3 rounds behind that.
Yeah, probably isn't even a QB1 in rankings.
So just to back up a couple of the things, I actually did my QB ranks last night. So Jared Goff, he is top 9 in points per game. He's top 6 in QBR. He's top 12 in PFF pass grade. Top 3 in adjusted yards per attempt. Top 3 in passer rating. He's top 12 in attempts per game. And he is top 6 in adjusted completion percentage. All of those metrics that I just named, those are some of the most important ones when it comes to forecasting QBs. So I have him firmly in my top 10 as well. So, but here's the thing, like I think he's going to be able to get him at the end of the second, early third. So why make the risk of putting him in the first round though? That's a huge risk that you're making. You're just really believing in your process by putting them in there.
I mean, what it comes down to is when you're playing Superflex, do you want to play quarterback chicken or do you want to invest in the position? And if I'm playing Superflex, I want to build the backbone of my team. And quarterbacks, that's what it comes down. Like, and here's the thing too, man. Like, you talk about just the landscape of quarterbacks in Superflex and Dynasty. Aren't we all out there talking about how like this quarterback class isn't that great? So if you're doing a startup today, do you want to take the risk of, okay, do you like Dart? Do you like Shador? Do you like Cam? And I'm still getting into all those guys' game and the prospect stuff. But like, do you want to be in the position where you're taking a swing on one of those as maybe your QB1, QB2 later in a startup? Or do you want to take known production that is locked in for the next 2 to 3 years and build the backbone of your team? And shit, I'm with building the backbone of my team. So like, you know, in Superflex, I'm not playing the quarterback chicken game. Like I want to build the team the right way. And that starts with the quarterback. So like, look, knowing that I'm going to get a top 12 quarterback, like where he's producing as a top 12 guy over the last few seasons, and we're projecting that forward for the next 2 to maybe 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Why is he not a first round pick? What, because he's immobile? Well, because he doesn't run? Well, shit, nobody has a problem sitting here taking Patrick Mahomes in the damn first round of a Superflex draft when that dude has been QB9, QB10 over the last 2 years. What's the difference?
So I'm going to ask you, Brody. I'm going to ask you, right? Because I wanted to touch on the next one, but I'm going to say this. Jared Goff or Pat Mahomes, right now, you had a draft. Let's just say, first round, start up. Jared, what's your short, you keep it short strategy. If you draft Pat Mahomes in the first round, what's your next 2 rounds look like? And if you take Goff, where you taking them at? And what is, you go receiver first, Goff, then this, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's your 3 picks in that metric?
If I'm on the clock and both of them are there, I'm probably more likely trying to trade back out of that pick, and I'll just take Goff in the next round. Yeah, because he ain't going to go round 1 in any startup you're in.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
Go round 2, round 3.
I'm just saying, like, if you had to take him though, say you had to take Pat first round, no trade. What's your process 2 and 3, and then what's your process in the first round, then Goff, then the third? Like, you know what I'm saying? What's your build around both of those guys? And then we go.
So if I'm going Mahomes and stuff, like really either way that I go in the first round, and I wouldn't have a problem taking Goff there. Like if it's Mahomes, if I take him, then I'm probably backing it up with 2 wide receivers or wide receiver running back and give myself a balanced start. Yeah. After that, if I'm going with Goff,
are we talking super flex too, though? Super flex too. Then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, if I'm going Goff, I'm probably more likely leaning into like one of those stud wide receivers that's still on the board, and I'll just take Goff in round 2. You know what I mean? And build it from there. So it really just comes down to like, in a lot of ways, man, like why would you not just go Goff in the second or third round? Because if you want to load up on 2 stud wide receivers or an elite running back and an elite wide receiver, and then get Goff maybe in the third or the second and do that, like how is that not a better build than say going Mahomes in the first round and then you chasing it in round 2 and 3?
Especially if you have that third round reversal. Go Puka at the end of the first round or Amon Ra, get those 2, and then third round reversal. You get
your heads up. Puka not going to end of the first play, boy. All right, he's going way earlier than that. We're gonna switch on though. But yeah, I wanted to get a quick little run, man. I look at the time, like, man, my boy Rock gave you a lot of flowers, Brody. So we're gonna bring you back, try to get things back. And quick little rundown. I know you've been running through this all week. Probably tomorrow you're gonna have another one about the Senior Bowl. You are the face of the Senior Bowl for us right now, in a sense, right?
I don't know if they want a radio face leading the way, man. Whoa.
Listen, bro. Most of us were at home doing nothing while you was out there putting in the work. So we want to get all the words from you. I looked up on your page earlier, seen these 3 names. So you got to conversate with at least 2 of them. Just give us a short rundown on what you thought about them and the outcome of, how they was on the over the weekend, and your expectations of probably going further with their future.
Man, I think so. All these 3 guys, I think the conversation has to begin with Jalen Knoll. And looking at what he did this week, I was really high on his game entering Mobile. And dude, after the week he had, I don't know anybody that could walk away from Mobile and not say that he was the number 1 winner. And I'm not trying to throw shade at Jack Besh or Jaden Higgins. I'm gonna talk about them in a sec, but like both those guys had fantastic weeks. But Jalen Knoll won everywhere, dude. Like I honestly, I don't know if I saw him lose a rep in one-on-ones the entire damn week, in 7-on-7s, 11-on-11s. And the parts of his game, dude, that I think he showed out was, I thought that this was a guy. Now looking at Knoll's career, he was a slot receiver at Iowa State. You had Higgins on the outside playing that X role and stuff. Knoll can win on the outside, dude. He can be 50-50. He can go slot and perimeter in the NFL. And so I love this kid. Like I got a 2nd-round draft grade on him. I'm going to be trading into a lot of 2nd rounds of dynasty rookie drafts. Hell, if he drops to the 3rd, it's a damn auto pick.
It's over with, right? Yeah.
Like I mean, the kid had. You want to talk about walking away from Mobile and being like, shit, that's the dude. That was one of the dudes.
Yeah,
it was Jalen Knoll. So like he's the biggest winner, man. And it was a lot of just like reaffirming the things that I saw on film in the process walking into Mobile. And with Besh and Higgins, Besh is a really good player, dude. Like he not only is he doing the dirty work, like he's going to block his ass off every single snap and be the locker room guy and really, I think, be an immensely awesome ad for culture fit for any freaking franchise. Like all 32 teams are going to be better if they get that guy in the building. But outside of that, man, like he's played a lot of different roles in college, started at tight end, played slot, played perimeter in his final year at TCU. I mean, he went down to Mobile and just balled, dude. Like showed a really complete skill set. Like he can get open on short area routes, in breakers, out routes and stuff like that from the slot. He can get open on the perimeter. He made a bunch of tough catches in contested situations. He's not a burner, but he's got enough speed to where if you're going to lace a back shoulder to him on the perimeter on a go ball, things like that, he can win that and he can stretch the field. Probably not what you want to be asking him to do every single snap, but a guy that I think really, really helped himself in the process, where you're probably talking about Jack Besh, because I don't think he goes out and he tests like a monster, probably runs like a high 4.5, low 4.6, tests okay in the short area, but doesn't like blow it away. I mean, the things he put up on film, man, and really everything from every single practice to the damn game and stuff and how that all played out, plus just his inspirational story, bro. Like he's probably going to go round 3 or round 4 of the NFL draft, where you're looking at maybe he was a late round 4, round 5 guy walking into that process.
Okay.
So really love both those guys, man. And Jaden Higgins, I want to see Jaden Higgins. The reason he's a little bit behind those other two guys is there are parts to Jaden Higgins' game, specifically winning downfield, that I still have questions about in the NFL. Like, what does his deep speed look like? Because if you look at just Iowa State last year, a lot of short area throws, their quarterback's not great. I'm sorry, I know he's got his stands out there in the space, but I'm not one of them. And they made a lot of like not layup throws, but short area throws. Higgins a ball winner, bro. Like, especially he could dominate. Like, what I want to see for Jaden Higgins, and part of what I didn't see in Mobile is the other parts of his game. Like, can you get on top of corners and consistently stack them? Do you have enough speed to win the downfield? Because if you ask this dude to go line up as a big slot, or you ask him to go play possession receiver and play X and run in breakers, slants all freaking day, this dude could be slant god 2.0, man. Like, Jaden Higgins could go, you put his ass in Denver, he's going to sit here and gobble up underneath routes and just tear defenses apart because he knows how to do that. He has got really good short area agility for a dude his size. He uses his size well on those route types. If you want to ask him to just go play that role and win from day one, he's going to do that. I question, can he play the entirety of the package of the X receiver role and win outside and win downfield as well? But if you just want to pigeonhole him in a high volume, stick him in a big slot role and say, go boss dudes, like go boss nickels, go win versus linebackers, shit, he could do that from day one. No question at all.
Well, I saw you interviewed, I think it was Higgins and Noel. How fun was that to like actually be on the field, talking to the players? You know what I'm saying? Like they know who you are now, and you kind of got a personal situation with them. How was that? You know, being down there and doing that with the
people? It's awesome, dude. And it's I'll say this, like, I only get to like go and talk to players once a year at Senior Bowl and things like that. Now I will be at the Combine this year, so I'm excited. I'm lit for that, man. Like, first year for FantasyPros going, but like with Senior Bowl specifically, bro, like I love getting to talk to the players, man. It's so awesome to get insight and to talk to these dudes, like both when you get a chance to interview them and like after you turn it off, man, because like just talking to Jack Besh, like, bro, like we're from about an hour away from each other. Like Jack Besh grew up about an hour away from where I grew up. Like we were sitting here talking high schools and shit like that and stuff. So like, it's cool to bring it back to that, but also get to know these guys. Like last year, I got to talk to Marshawn Lloyd, what he went through, and just trying to get recruited to even get seen to go to college to get to the NFL, and understanding these guys' stories. Like Luke McCaffrey last year. And I'll bring this back real fast, man. Like, I love talking to these guys to hear their stories and understand who they are as players and people.
For sure.
And I got so pissed off last year, man. Like, Luke McCaffrey's in Mobile. He's going through this, and there's so many different things you can talk to this dude about his life and his story and how he went from being a quarterback and changing schools and moving to wide receiver and everybody just wanted to ask him about his brother Christian and the Super Bowl and stuff. And I'm like, man, y'all shut up with that shit. Like, get out of here. Like, talk to these players and uplift their story and their journey right now, and give them the shine and give them the time to talk about that kind of stuff. Like, get out of here with this other noise and all these like pop questions you want to ask these dudes, like, that don't matter. Like, they really don't.
Yeah, don't. No, I'm with you. And me, I'm a personal guy. I like to, I mean, you know, I done chopped it up with you on a personal level. So I'm an interactive guy. I like to meet the people. And I definitely don't want to talk about your brother or whatever else going on. I want to know about you. So, you know, I definitely want to get a little bit of this Senior Bowl. And I know Rock over there, he itching, man. You got any questions, bro, if we move on?
I do.
Brody a little busy today, so I ain't want to stay
we good, baby.
I think, DBro, you have a really awesome insight by being able to go there, and also with all the work that you put into your rankings and your research. So I wanted to ask you, what are your favorite things about the rookie draft process, and what are your biggest personal pet peeves about the process?
The entire rookie process, I love seeing kind of where I come down versus consensus and what that looks like, and where all the thought opinions are on players and situations and players' games. But like that's a love, but it's also a hate thing for me, because in the process, I know I'm already going to fight consensus about certain things as I'm going through the process, because I'm just not going to rank a dude just to rank a dude in a certain spot, or to write up a certain thing, or however we want to dice this up and chop it, man. Like, I'm not going to talk about a player in a certain light, or just have this cookie cutter cut and paste, like, because, you know, like the narratives and the consensus kind of things get built as we get it through this. Yeah. And like, it takes a lot, man. Like, when you're out there on social media, like and this kind of goes into one of my pet peeves, it's like, we talk about as an industry, and people discuss, like, we want to hear different processes, or we want to hear different thoughts on players and rookies and prospects. But when you put anything out there and it differs from the consensus and the opinion, people want to sit here and smack it down. Like, as soon as you put it out there in the space, and it's like, instead of being inquisitive or saying, okay, how did you arrive at this? Or let's talk shop, or why do you think what you think? People just want to be like, oh, you're a clown, or you're ridiculous. Like, and I remember all of this shit, and I'll go right back to, like, I literally had a call with colleagues at FantasyPros before we did our QB show last year. And I'm like, bro, I was like, Caleb's not my QB1 of this class. I don't feel like that. And like, everybody has him as QB1. And I know I'm going to get 10 types of shit about this. And I know people are going to hate on it regardless of whatever I say. They're going to see that and they're going to like, are you doing it for whatever? Like, just to be different. And it's like, no, like, but then when you flip over the cards and we look at rookie seasons, and this is not me tossing shade or taking a victory lap or anything, but it comes back to the process. It's like, people want to bury you when you differ from the consensus. And it's like, shouldn't that be celebrated, or shouldn't that be like a learning point for everybody? Like, okay, this is where, because when I see it out there, I'm like, oh, well, maybe, because I'll compare and stuff like that, where I come down on a player, like, versus like where other people that I respect their opinions in the space. Like, I talk shop with a lot of dudes, like, not on shows and stuff, off air and texts and stuff. And I'm like, what do you think about a player? And we'll talk about it. And I'll go back to the film, or I'll go back. I'm like, did I miss something? But it's funny when you get out there in the social media space and everybody's like, oh, you're full of shit. You don't know what you're talking about because you differ from the opinions. And it's like, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I don't absorb differing opinions in that manner. Like, I'm like, no, let's have a conversation about it. Like, because I'll go back to the film and I'll own it if I'm wrong, dude.
We talked about that a couple of weeks ago with Pat. I had Jaden Daniels and Drake May ahead of Caleb Williams. But there's a cardinal rule in my heart where it's like, you have to respect ADP because you're betting against the market, and usually you lose out on that. So I flipped it. I was drafting Caleb Williams ahead of Jaden Daniels and Drake May. Look where we're at now. So I really do respect that about you, that you stick with your convictions, and you also don't victory lap. I think that's one of the best things about you. A lot of people, they like the victory lap.
Sometimes you do. Sometimes you do.
I take my moments, but my whole thing, it comes down to, and I'll go back to this. For me, So if you're out there on social media 24/7 and it is a part of your job, you hear enough shit and enough people talking all that noise about and hating on you and stuff.
Talk your shit, bro.
Like, I'm fine with sitting here. Like, I will celebrate the things I get right. I will own the things that I get wrong. I hear enough about all of the things that I get wrong, and I will tweet that and stuff like that. But if you're willing to own the L's, like, what's wrong with everybody enjoying W's, enjoying things they get right too, man? Like,
you celebrate the wins. You don't victory lap. There's a
but this the problem though, right? People think that you're supposed to get it right year one. Just because it didn't work out year one doesn't mean this player is bad. They just might be in year two where what I said was going to happen this year, it just took a year. But that don't mean I was wrong. It just took some time. That's all it really is. We so used to things hitting like that. We wanted to be perfect. Jaden Daniels had this great season, but let's just say he didn't have this great season. That doesn't mean he wouldn't be who he will be next year. You know what I'm saying? So, my biggest thing on J-Day, Brody, was I live in Washington, D.C. He was always the answer. And once he came here, he was always my QB1. So, I live here. I know how this city is. And one thing I know for sure, I done seen him at some clubs, some spots. He everywhere he go, the people, this man could have won 3 games this year. They're going to love him because he's their new RG3. You know what I'm saying? So he is what they breed. Like I live around Commanders fans my whole life, so I know for a fact he was the answer. And once he got drafted here, was no other question about who was QB1. Hi, Jeezy.
Oh man.
As I was going to my next subject, my dog got mad. Quiet, Jeezy.
He's just
trying to cook. Let him cook, Fizz. Yeah. Come on.
He got tired of talking about Jaden Daniels too. So we're gonna move on. And Brody, how much time you got? I know you say you had something to do around the time. You good to go? I just want to try.
I'm good, baby. I'm good.
My man, there we go. So we're gonna move on from this and really get to the reason why I had to ask you this, because I gotta give you a little bit of flowers that we're gonna bring up. The rookies coming in, and your guy, the one who I kind of watched, knew about, but you kind of put a spotlight on this dude that kind of like made me say, damn, if Brody want him like that. And everybody know, bro, everybody watch me know, Puka is my guy now. I had him as receiver 2 last year coming into the season. He got hurt. And I even took him over Justin Jefferson in some drafts, bro. Don't be mad at me, but I say, hey, I was with the Puka juice, all that last year. So with this, new rookie class coming in, I'm sure the Rams don't pick as high to maybe get even all 3 of these guys. But let's just say they have the pick of the litter out of these 3 guys right here, the top 3 in the class right now. Or maybe they're not your top 3. I don't know yet. But out of the top 3 I have right here, or anybody that's going in the first round as far as receivers, 2 things. One, where do you think they might rank up and have a Puka-like season, I would just say? And 2, if this Cooper Kupp news is really happening and he's gone, which I believe it is. If the Rams decide to take one of these guys, which one would you like to see in that offense next to Puka?
Oof, man. Looking at every one of their games, dude, I mean, I'm actually going to kind of pivot here. I would actually, I would actually kind of like to see them. I mean, look, I'm not against them taking one of the top 3 wide receivers. I'm not. I think.
Are you talking about pivot as far as the draft, like the draft?
Yeah. Well, hold up. I will say this: if they take one of the 3 guys, I think the most stylistic fit, if you're looking for somebody that would fit the Rams, as far as their situation, it's probably we're going to go with the Puka here. But like, if you're talking about let's pivot, and I think could offer probably the best weapon for this offense. I actually think like if we're saying Stafford and he's got to get his deal reworked, but if he's there for the next 2 to 3 seasons, tell me why also this offense would not want to possibly add maybe a Tyler Warren or a Loveland, like going tight end and ixnaying one of these wide receivers, like because the Rams have already proved in the pudding, man, they can find some guys later, like. Because they might already have the Cup. They might already have the Cup replacement in-house in Jordan Whittington.
They might.
So they believe in Whittington, then why not pivot and go with a tight end?
Yeah, they're one of the best coach teams, bro. Coaching matters to me. I'm a coach guy. I always believe in coaching over play a lot of times, because if Puka was with another team, it might not have happened, right? So Sean McVay, I trust him to make me great again. You know what I'm saying? Like make them put that on the hat, make me great again. That's what we gonna do it. And I trust Sean McVay to get me back the way I need to be, baby. So you don't think he should take a receiver at all, though?
Well, so I'll go back to this, and I'm gonna be kind of rewind.
Okay.
Does everybody remember the rumors about the Rams trying to trade up for Brock Bowers? Like that was real.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about we got a loaded tight end class. You got Whittington that flashed in his rookie season. We talked about the flash and talk about believing in rookies and stuff. I don't know, man. Like, I kind of believe in, are we going to see them go with one of these top end tight ends? And it's not the fact that I don't think that the wide receivers would be a good fit or that either one of them wouldn't be a stylistic fit with Puka. I think if the Rams are going to go with a skill player in the first round, I honestly kind of think they would lean the tight end position over the receivers. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm off base, but we'll see.
I don't think you are wrong, bro, because Warren is, I think, one of the best players. Not only we're going to get in rookie drafts, but just in the NFL draft altogether. People do forget that they did try to trade up for Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
Yep.
When I watched that game against Philly, I think that they needed some offensive line help. I think if they just had a little bit more offensive line help, maybe they do win that game. I mean, those last 4 minutes after Saquon Barkley, scored that long touchdown, none of the Eagles fans were saying anything in our chat because they were scared. They saw the Rams start to come back and stuff like that. So if they get Warren, who has one of the highest production grades I've ever seen, I think he outproduced Brock Bowers in his best season. I'm not saying he is Brock Bowers, but I think if you can get someone that can block and be a weapon like that with Puka, I think that would be absolutely awesome. I love what you're saying.
Well, I will say, me personally, I would like to just sign Chris Godwin, man, and then go get the tight end. You know what I'm saying? Put a Chris Godwin over there. You know what I'm saying? Replace Puka with him. He's a possession receiver. He can run the slot route. He can do different things. Chris Godwin, I'm not going to compare him to Cooper Kupp, but before Chris Godwin got injured, man, he was the receiver one clearly in Tampa, and he was a dog all season. So me personally, if I had to just throw something out there, let's get Chris Godwin in LA, baby, and draft that tight end that Brody and T-Rock won, and let's just go ahead and, showtime.
I'm not against that, or go out and you draft Tyler Warren, and then you go out and you trade Kupp. This is what I think would be the most underrated move too, because this dude's lost no juice, dude. Go out there and you sign Keenan Allen to a 2-year deal. Because he ain't slowing down at all.
And he said he want to go back to LA. He said he cool with the Chargers. So,
telling you.
Oh, okay, Brody. I like that.
That'd be a beautiful fit, dude.
You're the first one I heard bring that up. You're the first one. So we're going to make sure we put that on, first one for the Keenan Allen stroll. So I like that, though. That's breaking news, man. Brody got Keenan Allen up in LA, just a different side of town. So speaking of that movement, I mean, I guess can we kind of celebrate the era of Stafford, Kupp, and Puka, man? I feel like Stafford, we don't know what's going to happen, right? He still need to get paid, and we hearing that they got this plan. They might draft his replacement. Who knows what the outcome will be? But Cooper Kupp was my dog. I remember when people had him second behind I just had his damn name. Rock, save me, brother. I'm always forgetting names. And
Bobby Trees, baby.
There we go.
I wasn't paying attention, sorry.
And I was like, damn, bro. How behind Woods, man. I don't know, bro.
I don't know about
Kupp. I mean, I remember that last year though. Kupp wasn't the number one at that time, and I remember, Kupp. That slot role to me is always the most important, especially a receiver, especially in fantasy. Slot receivers they just get the ball. They going up against linebackers and safeties half the time anyway across the middle. So, that this era was just one of those era, man. We didn't see Puka just outdoing Kupp in literally 1 year, but. What we think about this era, man, and the so long farewell, and what will the next step look like for the Rams once Kupp leave and ultimately Stafford in the limbo if he leaves in the next year or so? What we think, can the Rams surprise us again, or what we think?
Go ahead, DBro.
I think they can, dude. I mean, you're looking at a team that I think they made more noise this year than people were expecting.
Oh yeah, the year before that too, though. Remember the year before
dude.
that too?
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And I think what this comes down to with the Rams, I won't be surprised if they do draft the quarterback of the future there this year. If somebody say, I don't know, a Jackson Dart falls into the round 2, I don't think he's going to, but if that were to happen, I could see the Rams trading up for him. But like in a lot of different aspects, they probably end up going and addressing quarterback next year and adding to the team around, a rookie quarterback contract for next year if they rework Stafford. But like, dude, this iteration of the Rams and looking at just this team over winning the Super Bowl, the composition of that team being extremely veteran heavy, and then tearing all that down and rebuilding this roster. Like, dude, we got to give McVay and Snead and that entire building just a ton of flowers, man. Like, this team flipped over the entire roster, went through an entire rebuild, and they're right back in it, man. Like, that defensive line is going to be nasty. They add like some beef up front, get like a big D tackle this year, stop the run.
Hey, Miles Garrett out there.
You had some of the corners on the outside and stuff like that, because I don't think Akello and Darius are not like long-term options, probably not even 2025 options.
Yeah.
If they can keep that kind of together, dude, this team could be really, really freaking good, assuming Stafford can stay healthy and Puka can stay healthy in 2025. And I mean, I'm knocking on wood here, you know what I mean? But like, if those guys can stay healthy, we're talking about a team that if everything kind of gels again, this is another team that, like, I mean, they could have Super Bowl aspirations coming down that next year around this time. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they make another deep run at it. Like, this year they ran out of weapons, man. Like, Higbee's not 100%. He's coming back. Cup is who Cup is now, which, you know what I mean? Like, look, Father Time is undefeated and comes for us all, so I don't want to sit here and throw anything at Cup that isn't deserved, but like, that's the reality of it, man.
Yeah,
so like,
it was over. Yeah.
What the Rams did then and what they continue to do now, I think just shows that they have a plan in place, and we really need to respect both Les Snead as a GM and Sean McVay as a head coach, man, because just retooling on the fly and still winning damn ball games.
Oh, yeah.
That shit don't happen often, dude. It really doesn't.
Well, I will say this as far as the Rams. I got you, Rob. I will say this, though, as far as the Rams. They went through a process of trading all their picks, overpaying players, then stepping back saying, all right, let's get rid of these players that we just paid, or maybe, trade them, cut them, whatever, Brandon Cooks and all those guys. Now we're going to rebuild through the draft, and literally in 2 years went from a team that literally never even really missed the playoffs. They still a playoff contending team while doing this same process of betting it all on the Super Bowl. And you would think as a fan, oh, well, you can't buy championships. Well, they bought one and they still figured out a way to regroup without shattering it all. I know you say that they tore it down, but they kind of tore it down. It's like when it was rebuilt. When you see a building get broke down, bro, and then 2 months later, you like, man, how the hell they build all this up? That parking lot was empty last week. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the Rams literally have done. They tore it down, and next thing you know, we look up and they got a whole new building, fresh glass, just like their stadium. It just looked real good and pretty in that LA sun. And Rock, man, before we move on, brother, what you got going on, bro?
Damn, Fizz, you said all the same shit I was about to say.
My bad. Hey, bro,
we're on the same page.
We on the same
wave. Same notes, baby. Same vibe.
Drift compatible, man. Yeah, it's just like, because me and Fizz, we put McVay. He's second only to Andy Reid as far as the coach goes.
Yeah,
100%.
And we need to take notes as a fantasy community of what the Rams do. If you want to win now, trading all those picks to win a championship. But then the other thing is too, like, their ability to draft, man. It kind of makes me wonder. It's like, what could they have done with those picks that they traded away over the last couple of years? But they won a championship with it, and they've hit on all their picks.
That's it.
So they're able to do both. So
I mean,
right there with both of you guys.
You win the Super Bowl. I mean, look, we can talk about how many years the Super Bowl has been going on. That there's only so many champions. There's only one every single year at the end of the year. Like, so if you mortgage in all the things to go get a ring. I mean, if you get the ring, it pays off. Like, I don't care. Yeah. Like, that's end of conversation. Like, I don't care I don't care if you go full Ditka and you give away 2 damn draft classes. If you get the ring,
don't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Before we move on, I really like Rob's question about Tyler Warren. So if Tyler Warren does go to the Rams, are you picking him at 106 or earlier? I know I am. I'm really
depends on
high on
format.
Tyler
We're
Warren.
talking about tight end premium. I'm not against it, dude. I mean,
So just so you guys know, since 2018, we have 100% hit rate on tight ends being the top 12 breakout in the first round, which is crazy. Every single tight end we've drafted in the first round since 2018 has had a top 12 season. And I think Tyler Warren is one of the best that we've seen. I'm going to be drafting him ahead of 106, just so you guys know.
I mean, I'm not against it, dude. I mean, this comes down to, I think the last 3 years, have we fully debunked the whole, like, don't take a tight end? And I'm not even talking about premium, non-tight end premium.
Well,
like, have we fully debunked that? Have we debunked, like,
in the South Harmon walls? Yes, not me, but my compadres definitely do not like taking tight ends, man. They can't stand them. And I get the data.
Oh, I know Mike's diatribe by tight ends don't matter. I get it.
And it's a lot of the data does back it up, Brody. But I feel like a lot of tight end, man, is just situational, bro. If you would have coached,
you can't tell me Laporta didn't matter in his first rookie season. Where's that war at? And Brock Bowers didn't matter in his rookie season. So, like, over the whole scope of it, I get it.
Yeah,
but it don't mean that there's not outliers too.
Nah, you're right.
That's exactly what I think too. Yeah.
And it's going to happen, man. One thing you got to do, though, I always preach this, bro. You got to enjoy your team, right? We watch these owners. Jerry Jones literally was playing dynasty football himself. He's been doing it for 30 years with his team. So when you draft a dynasty team, bro, if you don't like the players or roster that you have, ain't no point in having it if you ain't going to enjoy it. That's how you end up with orphan teams and people leaving the league because they like, man, I don't even like this team. So if you're going to lose after paying your money, at least let it be losing with your guys. So I'm always stand by having Kyle Pitts. I don't care. Give me all the picks you want because at 1 year, my boy is going to break this streak. I don't know what's going on, but we're going to get some Kyle Pitts going. Just certain players, bro, it just is what it is. Send them to me. I take them. But I will enjoy my steps and my process of always playing this game. And why you down there though? Yeah, but why you down there though, Brody, at the combine, man? Holler at the coaches. Ask them, can we get some coach jerseys, man? I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm tired of buying a play. Give me some coaches. Give me that Sean McVay.
You want a shoddy jersey?
I need a Sean McVay. No. I need a Sean McVay, you know? I know
Sean you got Cowboys stuff. I mean, maybe I can get you hooked up with a shoddy jersey.
Hell no. I know you down in Texas, Brody. Listen, man. I say this. I love the players. I love the name on the back of the jersey more than the logos these days. You know what I'm saying? So I root for the players versus the. I mean, I know you a Saints fan, but I never really see you. Oh, you aren't.
I mean, I've disavowed my Saints love until they get in the car until they get a plan, man.
So that's what I'm saying. I just know, like, right now, I'm to the point in life now, bro, where my team don't stress me out like they used to. Now I just enjoy the game of football, and if they win, but I am with you on the Rams thing. If the Cowboys won one Super Bowl, I'm good for another 30 years. Just give me one, baby. Yeah. Just give me one of them things. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
But since they haven't won in 30 years, now you fiending a little bit?
Like, yeah, I need one more, baby. I need one more. You know what I'm saying? I need one more for 30. We're going to go 30 for 30. You know what I'm saying? So,
man, I don't know if Jeru is ready to open up the wallet, man. He's got that thing on lock.
Yeah,
he's trading mid-round picks for Jonathan Mingo. We making some choices, but I can't. I mean, I don't know if they're good choices, but we making some choices out here.
Yeah, I know, man. We gonna move on from that dude, man. And let's check out, man. This ain't a Ram show, but I did. This ain't a Ram show, but I did want to show some love to my boy, man. He getting traded, and Cooper Kupp say his goodbyes to LA. He wrote his letter and let everybody know, shout out to LA. We appreciate you. I love you. Blah blah blah. I got a list of teams right here. I didn't look up the odds. I kind of just looked at best fit or, team of need of receivers. And we don't have to go specifically on these 6 teams, but out of possibilities, which team do you think is the best possibility? And also which team would be the better fit for us in fantasy? Forget the real life. Like, it's for us in fantasy. What's the best fit for Cooper Kupp ultimately if he gets traded?
Man, I'm actually I don't disagree with a lot of the teams you got listed here, Fizz. I think if you're looking at the list of teams that you got down here, I think the Commanders definitely stand out from both of, what they're looking at as far as scheme and things like that. But I'm actually going to go off the board I actually think that if we're talking about who has the money to pay him and also could be a system fit, dude, put him in New England. Put him in New England with Drake May. I think, but getting back to McDaniel's scheme and what that looks like,
like that.
I think you can build out a decent wide receiver room with, or at least a skill set depth chart with Hunter Henry, Ramondre, Cooper Kupp. You draft another wide receiver, and then we'll see, who else. Like, do they also sign T. Higgins? Like, trading for Kupp and signing T, like, they got the money to do it, dude. I mean, and they got a lot of other holes to fill, I know, but what parts are you going to sit here and take through free agency? And, I mean, they are leading the NFL in cap space. So how are you going to add to the team in free agency, and how's that going to match up with your draft plan? Are you going to add through the trenches in the draft and go for, your skill positions in another route, saying free agency? I could be down with that, man. But if it's not the Patriots, I think the Commanders definitely make the most sense. Cowboys ain't gonna do it. I don't want to hurt your heart. They ain't gonna do it. They're gonna
I just
sign
want it for the
somebody
jersey.
else, or
I don't want to win no games, bro. I just want to buy a Cup jersey, say I got one. That's the only reason why I want them over there.
Yeah.
But I will say the NFC teams, though, I kind of like, I don't know if they like, look, we don't want them here. Or I think they do want to show them a little bit of love because, Sean McVay don't seem like that kind of guy. But I don't have these two teams listed, and I'm going to let you go, Rock. I think the Bengals, if T. Higgins don't stay and they can get a Cooper Kupp, or also, the Texans. Maybe the Texans. Only reason I didn't bring the Texans up because I thought maybe they just dealt with the Dig thing, and they were like, well, we don't need another older receiver kind of out of his prime to go at. So that's the only reason why I left them out. But these six is kind of hit me this morning when I thought about the graphics. So, Rock, what you think, brother?
There are two wide receivers that I feel like are kind of close to what Cooper Kupp can do, and that is out of Deebo Samuel out of San Francisco and Chris Godwin out of Tampa Bay. So if both of those guys get shipped off, man, those are two of my favorite offenses to watch, two of my favorite coaches as well. So I want to be able to see Cooper Kupp go back into a situation where he can win right away. I think some of these other teams that we have listed below, they definitely do need wide receiver. I'm just not sure if it's as much of a fit or as much as a fit for him if he's going to be utilized the right way. Those are, I think with San Francisco, I really do want to see Ricky Pearsall really take a huge step forward. He was one of my favorite wide receivers coming into this class. But yeah,
I don't think McVay would do that though, bro. That's why I didn't put them up there though. I don't know McVay would send him to San Fran though, bro. That'd be kind of tough.
I think they're going to cut him. So I think,
you think so?
I think Cooper Kupp, as far as, I don't know if you thought the same thing, DBro. It sounds like they're just going to cut him outright, or did it sound like they were going to trade him?
I mean, I think if they can trade him, they will trade him, because I think they're putting this out in the space soon enough to where, like, obviously they want time before the NFL draft. Like, I think they're going to trade him if they can. Like, if you can get,
that makes sense.
Even like, say you give a team Kupp and your fifth just to get a fourth back, like things like that. Like, I think they're looking to probably try to get a day 3 pick out of it. And that's why they're putting this out in the space. So, like, Kupp has time, like, for his people to feel out the market, but also for the Rams to kind of look through teams and stuff like that and be like, okay, where is that fit going to be? So I could definitely see it. I think they're probably trying to pull the trade. Now, whether that comes to fruition or not, we could talk about that for days.
Yeah.
If he does go to New England, maybe Polk can learn a thing or two about playing wide receiver. So being able to, that would be
Polk. Speaking of New England draft plans, man, good.
They're not good at drafting wide receivers, are they?
No.
well,
I still believe I have the I don't want to say like the crazy hair. I still believe that even though Bill left, I think there's other people pulling strings inside that room, because Bill wasn't in there calling the shots, and their draft plan still looked like it was off the damn wall. And I don't think they called Gerard Mayo.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what it looks like with Vrabel in town now. But
Well, more flowers for my boy DBro, man. We got 1,000 eyes on the channel, man. It's the first time we had those eyes in here. All shout out to my boy joining us this morning. I want to recognize that. Let y'all know we appreciate y'all. Make sure you subscribe. The Vibes channel is the new channel we putting together, baby. We starting the vibes off today on a good note, man. So a little bit of D Brody sunshine on us, man. We got 1,000 eyes looking at us, so they don't like seeing our face clearly, bro. You bring everybody through.
They must be listening and not looking at me, brother. I don't know what they ain't coming here in my face. Woo.
Listen, I just gotta give you a little jello on that one, man. So we appreciate the people stopping through, man, showing us a little bit of love, and again, shout out my boy Brody. Damn, bro, I really wanted to, because I didn't know what the time was. I was like, damn, bro, I don't want to leave him without a cups thing. So we gonna get back to cup. This right here was another breaking news moment, and this guy right here, Myles Garrett, man. Myles Garrett said, "Hey, get me up out of here." You know, he saw all this breaking news, and he said, "Hey, we can't let all the trades talk go in the NBA. I need some of that too." So, Myles Garrett being on the market. So a lot of times, I know me and Rock talked earlier. A lot of times, players say this out loud, and it might not come through, or it might not happen. He just basically speaking his frustrations out loud and letting it be known, like, "Hey, I'm not happy." We kind of saw this coming, but just didn't know when it would happen, and he finally put it out there. So, if it was to happen, one, what's the best fit? Two, what's the reality of it? And three, you know, how did the Browns bounce back from there? I know they got the number 2 pick. You know, just a guy named Carter sitting right there. You know, maybe they can get, or you know, maybe they need a DN back when they move him. So, Rock, man, I'm gonna let you go first, brother. What you think about your Cleveland Browns? Don't cry too many tears, bro, because I know. You know, well, you're not a Cleveland Browns fan, but you're in.
I grew up in Cleveland, so
exactly. Yeah. So, you won't cry as much as you did for Baltimore, brother. But what you got going on with Myles Garrett, and what you think about it?
Man, whenever you have a Hall of Fame level type of player, one of the best DNs that I've ever gotten to watch, I just want to see him go to a championship team. You have these teams listed. You could put 31 other teams on here. So it's just like any team that he goes to. I just want to be able to see, like Joe Thomas. He was one of the best tackles I've ever seen in my life. To see him play his whole career in Cleveland, man, it's awesome to be able to watch his jerseys at the Hall of Fame. But yeah, I want to see Myles Garrett just go anywhere where they can win a championship. It don't matter to me.
All right. I like that answer, man. That was actually conservative, but I like it though, because it's reality, right? So, yeah, Brody, what do you think, man? What's your next stop for Garrett, and where you want to see him at?
My dog's going crazy about the Garrett talk, man.
Oh, there we go. No, your dog just hate the Browns. That's what it is.
I mean, it could be. I would definitely say I think it's for me, it's the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I got them up here. Yep.
I think it's definitely the Bears for me. They got the 4th most cap space in the NFL. You trade him with you put him teaming with Montez Sweat. The other thing I want to talk about here too is, and my dogs are going nuts.
If you need it, Paul, just got you. It's up to you.
Bear down.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
So with Sweat, the Bears can also get out of his contract after 2025. They could cut him. Not saying they will, but there is flexibility there. So I think looking at
he just signed
contract, he did. But looking at the contract and the flexibility there, I think there's definitely a path to where the Bears could team those two together. And if it fits, and then let's roll. And if not, then get out of it, and then you just roll forward with Myles Garrett.
I like that. Now, I actually think that's a dope. I put the Bears up there listed as one of the teams. I'm not sure that they win now team, and I'm not even sure if the Browns would go with AFC team. I think they might go NFC just to say, look, you're not going to kill us on the schedule, next year or the next year after that. I don't mind the Patriots either, though, man. I think the Patriots with Mike Vrabel being there, trying to build a culture. I'm not sure if it's a winning now situation, but a guy like Vrabel, defensive guy coming in, trying to set the tone with, Hall of Fame style players like himself. Hey, man, I definitely know. I put the Ravens up there, Rock, but I know you guys have no chance of getting Myles Garrett. I just wanted to show you a little bit of love. Philly, I keep hearing this Philly talk, man. This is not happening. Let's just block Philly out of here. They already cheat enough, and they're gonna be crying about the refs cheating all next week. So I actually, damn, you know what? I should have brought that up, D-Bro. Actually, D-Bro, look, why I got you here, I'm gonna ask you this, bro. You down there in Texas, breaking news. We ain't gonna talk on it long, but how you feeling about this Luke and LeBron and AD? I don't even know if you're a basketball guy, but you being in Texas, bro.
Dude, I'll say this. I'm not in the basketball streets, but it's wild. Just consuming this from the outside looking in, man. It's some craziness.
It's sad times, bro. And I will say I'm a Mavs fan. Well, I was a Mavs fan. I'm a San Antonio fan now. I switched over the other day, man. I'm moving on, man. I can't deal with it. My heart keeps getting broken in Dallas. I don't know what the hell is going on in the state of Texas and Dallas and whatever's going on down there in the South, bro. I don't want no parts of it. I'm not flying down there no time soon because I don't want to get traded. You know what I'm saying? So, Rock, man, what you thinking about this, bro? And then let's
before I give my thoughts, I just want to thank DBro for his time. I know he's got to bounce here right now, so
yeah, sorry,
it's all good. I really do appreciate you. It was great being able to see you at the expo, and yeah, man, I'm gonna be tuning into everything that you do. You're one of the best, absolutely, in fantasy football, and also I love your content especially at the
appreciate it, brother.
at the Senior Bowl, and I'm gonna be looking forward to the Combine as well. So thank you so much for being on the show with us.
Oh man, appreciate y'all having me, man. Like I said, it's always good to chop it up with you boys.
Yeah,
Definitely.
we appreciate it, man. This our baby over here to cook up, and we glad you joined the kitchen with us, Brody. So, we're gonna sign you out, man. But before you leave, bro, let me get one of these right quick, Brody. One more before you leave. Let me get a hand before I get you out of here. I gotta give me a hand one time.
How you want me to toss this? How you want me to spin it?
Look, give me a hand. Hold on, give me one more of them things, baby. There we go. That
was awesome.
There we go, Brody. Hey, look, we appreciate you, Brody, man. Go ahead and take care of business, man.
Much
and we'll
love,
see you
boys.
next time, bro. My man.
Love y'all. Have a great day, boys.
Yes, sir. All right, bro. Yeah, it's me and Rock, baby. We back, Rock. Hey, look, man. I'm glad we got the Brody come through, man. I know he couldn't stay too long. His dog said, "Listen, you talking too much, man. Get it cracking. Let's take care of us, Pop." So, moving on though, Rock. How you feel about this? This big trade, the big news. People been waiting to hear about it. We're going to get more in depth into it later. But for right now, Luka getting traded for AD. The Dallas Mavs literally got scraps back. If you think about, AD getting traded with a first-round pick, I don't know all the details. I didn't even want to look because the regular details don't really matter. It more so comes down to Luka and AD at the end of the day. Luka's being 25 years old. They saying he shot up to 270 pounds. The team has a lot of questions with his health. They didn't want to give him $345 million guaranteed. And with him getting traded, he actually lost 115 guaranteed, I believe. So now he's back in the 220s. They said he just bought a $15 million house in Texas like 2 days ago. So I'm not sure what's going on, man. It was kind of like a sneaky after hours type of feel. Like they just traded him without nobody knowing. And LeBron didn't know. Mark Cuban act like he didn't know. First of all, what the hell going on in Texas? And second of all, what's your, feeling on the process of the trade and, the outcome of the trade pretty much?
Dude, Anthony Davis, he spent $34 million on a Beverly Hills house compared to the $12 million house that I think that.
But think about this, right? You think about Texas. Now Luka lost $100-some million plus the taxes, because in Texas, that taxes on that $200 million, bro, gonna hurt a lot more than that taxes in Texas that he wouldn't have had. So
when I saw this drop, it was like around midnight. And I just saw it and I'm like, man, this ain't real. And then I went straight to bed. And then I woke up the next morning. I'm like, damn, real, this is real. Holy shit.
I had to take a shower after that. I woke up. I was at 1:30. I looked at my phone. I was so stressed out. I took a shower, bro. I couldn't even go to sleep. I just had to get it out of my system, man.
Luckily for me, I'm trying to be, a responsible human being, trying to go to bed by 11:45 at night and stuff like that. But yeah, when I woke up the next morning, I was like, this has to be the most insane trade I've ever seen in my entire life, regardless of the sports. So just like DBro, ever since I watched one game of the Celtics and the Golden State Warriors, their finals a couple of years ago. And I was like, man, I'm not investing any more time in the NBA. I used to be a huge NBA fan guy. LeBron James, me and my dad would watch him all the time when he was playing for the Cavaliers. Every game we watched and stuff like that. But the last finals that I watched that was really, really good was the Suns and the Bucks. Man, I have not watched anything since then. But seeing this trade, knowing that Luka is like one of the best players, and he's only 25 years old. So
Top
like
5, bro.
this whole trade just sent me down a rabbit hole. I think some of the biggest searches on Google was, does Mark Cuban still own the Mavs? Who is the GM? Who is the owner? And stuff like that. All these types of things. And yeah, when I saw Shams, when he broke that news, it's just been, I've watched so much Stephen A over the last couple of days to see his take and stuff like that. But it sounds like to me, man, like the ownership, they're getting sick and tired of some of these diva players and how entitled they are. And they want them to be completely 100% professional. They don't want them showing up to camp 30 pounds overweight, not giving a shit about what they look like and putting in the work and stuff like that. And here's the thing, Luka is still one of the best players in the NBA, despite him not being in the best shape. But he has missed more games than, he was eligible to play. And I think they were just like, man, especially with the GM having spent 19 years at Nike, rubbing shoulders with Kobe Bryant, rubbing shoulders with Michael Jordan, seeing the way that those players conduct themselves, they did not want to give, like you said, Luka, despite how good he is on the court, $345 million, that Supermax deal. So, I think the NFL, or not the NFL, the NBA ownership is sending a clear signal, not just with this trade, but also, too, they didn't, like you said, this was done in the shadows. They didn't bother talking to LeBron James, the coaches, nobody. It was just ownership to ownership.
Middle of the night. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like literally, they probably did this with a night light on in their room, bro. The lights weren't even on. Like they had to make sure they didn't wake the house up when they made this trade, bro. I feel like my take on it is, one, I'm a Mavs fan, man. I feel like right now, this is a better move for the Mavs right now, right? I think with AD, you got Gafford, you got Lively, you got Kyrie, Clay. You now have a team where it's kind of all together. The big man game will be on lock, and nobody's coming in the paint, but nobody plays in the paint anyway, right? You know what I'm saying? Like nobody dunks the ball, jumping at 3-4 players. Everybody's shooting threes. So I get it. I understand it, I guess. But it's like, bro, if Rudy Gobert got traded for like 4 first rounders from Paul George, he done got traded 4 or 5 times. James Harden, every time that they got traded, the team that he traded to broke the bank. They had to pay out the ass to keep those, to get the player off their book. So I'm looking at OKC right now is like a top 5 team, or almost went to the championship, bro. And OKC has like 15 first rounders over the next 10 years. So to see that
2029 is that first. That's like, man,
bro,
the world's gonna be over by then.
Bro, AD won't even be on the team by then. He's 32 years old. The man gonna be done. So the fact that you gave away a generational talent, bro, that just took you. Now think about the progress of Luka. Luka, they missed the playoffs. They went to the playoffs. They went to the conference finals, lost to Denver, who's the better team, and then they went to the championship last year. So every year, regardless of his weight battles and his injuries, they've gotten better when it counted in the playoffs. So for you to trade a player that's 25, best player in his region in this age bracket, to get rid of him in his prime, when knowing that you just made a championship with him last year, the excuse of he wasn't this and that, Rock, if you are my centerpiece, I'm gonna blame myself as a GM for not building better around you. I'm not gonna blame you as the problem. And I just think AD being 32 years old suffers more injuries than what Luka suffered through his career. I just don't see how you make this happen, man, overnight. And I did hear Austin Reeves said this on his podcast. He said, this isn't a trade that you do directly. You put Luka on the market. Because let's just say, if they put this out in the news that Luka's up for grabs, they could have tripled their money with another team. You know what I'm saying? They could have got
how many players are like Anthony Davis out there where you can get, where he's an all-star defensive player that can also still put up 25 points? I mean, he scored 40 in the last game with the Lakers. But
I'm going to say this, though, Rock. You offered this to the Lakers, right? The Lakers weren't knocking on your door for this. So if you put it out there that Luka's for grabs, now you could tell the Lakers, well, look, we got 10 other teams that want him. Now the Lakers they gotta sell you the pitch. Right now, you went to the Lakers. You know, that's almost like your draft pick, right? If me and you talking about a trade and you send it to me and I wake up and smash accept, and then I take that same trade you sent me for that player and I put him on the market, and then you like, hold on, Fizz got way more than what I got from this trade. That's because you didn't ask everybody else. You only came to me. So, you know what I'm saying? They should have let it be known that, hey, all 30 teams in the NBA, Luka's available. Send us your best offer. We'll knock it down from here. You went to 2 teams. I heard they asked the Milwaukee Bucks about Giannis, and they said, hell no, that ain't happening. And then they just said, all right, let's call the Lakers. And then let's think about it, right? This is the LA Lakers, bro. How the hell they keep doing this, man? Come on now. Do you think the Memphis Grizzlies would have got this? No. Do you think the Orlando Magic would have got this? No. Nope. I don't care if they had primetime Dwight Howard, bro. The NBA would not have let this happen. But since it's the Lakers, they got Kobe, they get Shaq, in his prime of all times. They get LeBron, he come there win a championship. Now they get Luka. It's just the NBA, man, is a Disney book just waiting to happen. And right now, Luka is the new movie. Ultimately, though, I do believe it's a setback for the Lakers this year because Luka's still hurt. The team is still trash. And they got a key piece to keep, for the future when LeBron leaves. But
yeah,
I like AD, and I kind of hate that I had to hate the trade because I love AD. I just hate that, I had 3 more Luka jerseys I wanted to buy, and I damn sure won't get them now. So,
yeah, I just think I keep going back to like the power of ownership and players, because over the last 10 years, ever since LeBron James wanted to take his talents to South Beach, he was writing his own destiny. It's all these super, max deals and these superstar players. They were the ones running the NBA.
Yeah.
And now with the ownership, we're not going to put them on the market. We don't want to hear all these offers because we don't want anyone messing with our deal. We're just going to do what we want to do. The fact that they didn't correspond with anybody as far as the coaches or any of these players asking them what they thought. Yeah, they didn't. So, like, I think this sends a clear signal, or it's just like, hey, NBA ownership, it's going down. People are tired of you guys, saying this and saying that. It's just like, we want professionals. These multi-billionaire families that are running these organizations. The best thing that's been said that I've watched over the last couple of days, Perkins said, it's not just about what you can do, it's how you can do it. So like he brought up Steph Curry. This never in a million years this has happened with Steph Curry, because Steph Curry is professional. Every day he shows up to play, and he's one of the best players in the NBA. Same thing with LeBron James. Luka was not doing that despite being one of the best players. So they're not going to invest this $345 million deal in him, and they're not going to just do that. They're going to ship his ass off like it's nothing. They don't even care.
For sure.
That's pretty crazy.
I mean, that's a good point. That's a good point. But I will say this, right? And I'm playing devil's advocate. This is when you put players around Luka that can straighten them out. They kind of teach them the ropes. They let them know and remind them, hey, if I got to hire Dirk, right? He looks up to Dirk. Dirk was a professional throughout the win. Hey, Dirk, listen, we know you love the Mavs. We got the best statue trophy outside of you I've ever seen, right? Yeah. Dirk, we need you. We need you to holler at Luke. We need you around a little bit more. What can we do to get you around to kind of guide him? You know what I'm saying? Like, as a owner, GM, manager, whatever you want to call me, I'm going to make sure I give you everything you need. Me just like lack of, nutrition and this and that. You think now being around LeBron not going to have this man in tip-top shape? LeBron going to make sure Luka is on time, in shape, eating right. That's what you do when you have a leader on your team. So they can blame Luka for the lack of not caring and not doing this. I get it. The guy's 25 years old. He plays in a country where they probably was beer bellies everywhere they ran. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't getting in shape anyway. He was beating these dudes at 15 years old where he was from. So coming over here, bro, he never took it serious, especially when I'm a top 5 player and I'm still 30 pounds overweight. Like, nobody can stop me. So you got to put players around your players, bro, to guide them, help them. That's why the NBA is lost now, because it's too many renegades and young players just running wild. Ja Morant's, you know what I'm saying? All this stuff that go on in the league. They used to keep old veterans on the bench to keep players in line and kind of help them and guide them through. They don't do that no more now. That's the problem with the league, bro. So,
Man,
I think the Mavs gave up on Luka, man. If you ask me,
they did.
And I think Jerry Jones is he definitely. But to hear that, Rob, I don't mean to cut you off, but to hear that the GM did this, you talking about a guy that can be fired tomorrow. I'm not gonna let a GM change my entire franchise for the next 10 years. Because if this don't work out with AD, bro, you're gonna be set back for like 10 years. You know what I'm saying, Rock? So I feel like, bro, that's why Jerry Jones said I'm not hiring a GM, because you're not about to mess my franchise up or piss me off for the next 10 years. I just do it myself. You know what I'm saying? So that was just a crazy move, man. I don't know, Rob.
The best was when, I think I sent this to you, that meme from what is it called? From Mark Cuban saying, like, if I had to choose between my wife and keeping Luka on the Mavs, catch me in my lawyer's office prepping for a divorce.
Yeah, okay. All right, so, Mark, man. We hear you, Mark.
Yeah, I'm ready for Luka Doncic to just turn this situation around and just prove that he is the best player in the NBA. So I hope this lights a fire under his ass. I wanted to holler at Rob Gronkowski's question real quick. Thoughts on this trade? Nico Collins plus 106 for Jay Jetta.
I got you, Rob.
I have Chase, Neighbors, Nico, DK, Waddle, Odunze, Pittman. I'm looking to acquire Jay Jetta, or could I use the 106 to do something different? Damn, he wants all the freaking Infinity Stones between Chase, Neighbors, and Jay Jetta. That would be pretty insane. I think it definitely has a vibe all to its own. The nice thing about the 106, I would especially wait until the draft, because with that 106, you're going to be able to get some really good running backs, like Amari and Hampton could be 8-man league. Come on, man. Why we got you in that? We need to get Rob. Yeah, we need to get him in the Vibes League, in the 12-man league.
We love you, Rob, but you got to tap in with us on that one, man. I see Jake asking about the league, so I will say this before we get up out of here, man, because clearly my dog is pissed off and still on here too. So me and Brody got this dog thing going on today. I will say, it might be a smart man. First of all, we want to say shout out to everybody that's here, everybody that's joined us, everybody that's tapping in with us weekly. We got other shows going on. We got the AMA tomorrow. I got the show Friday. We got the podcast channel. I know EV was at Monday Night Raw, so he might not have his show dropping this week on the America's game. But regardless, man, we got everything you need. Stay tapped in with us. We appreciate y'all being here. We at right now, 1,085 eyes, baby. So, that's a nice couple of pairs. You know what I'm saying? So, we appreciate everybody being in the building. And Rock, you anything you want to holler about Kobe Lee, bro?
Shout out again. He is one of our favorite people in space, and he might be popping up here again soon on South Harmon. So make sure that you tap in.
Yeah.
I know he was talking about the way he looks for radio and stuff like that. Man, I'm looking at myself. I look like freaking Nosferatu compared to him.
Hey, you got your Razor Ramon. You got your Razor Ramon on right now, right? That's what we're gonna call it, baby. You just put a toothpick in the next show, and we're gonna get it cracking like that, baby. Well, before we leave, though, we will say South Harmon vibes. The Cook Up Dynasty League, we got that cracking right now. I know Jake has spoke up about the league. You got two leagues. I got the Vibes League and the Cook Up League. So 12-team league. I explain all the rules and all that. If you got my Twitter handles at Fizzle Dolla, actually it's on our names right here. If you reach out to me and Rock, we let you know about the league, how to get in. We try and do it for the people that show up every week and tap in with us here, and the Patreons underneath South Harmon patreon.com/South Harmon. Join in, tap in with us, but just reach out to us if you try and join our league, man. 12 teams. Let's build this thing from the ground up. And y'all could test my theory on if I really like these guys and if I'm just running my mouth and, call me out on it. So we appreciate y'all, though, man. Almost 2,000 eyes up in here, baby. That's a whole lot of them things. So, Rock, before we get out of here, man, let them people know something.
Oh, man, we are in rookie season right now. This is the best time of the year. This is where I get the most excited, where I pour basically months worth of research into weeks. I'm staying up all night looking into these players. So tap in, just stay tuned for what we got cooking. Every single channel is going to be fired this whole off season. So, and yes, Jake, I'm going to be in the Vibes Dynasty League. So I hope to see you guys there.
That's it. But Rock, when I was saying let them know something, I want you to give me that thing one time, brother. That's what I was saying, brother. There we go. There we go. We out of this thing. Holla at y'all next Tuesday.